Are you trying to lose weight but finding it harder than expected? Do you feel tired throughout the day, struggle with brain fog, or constantly crave sweet foods? Maybe you feel like you need to eat all the time. If any of that sounds familiar, chances are you're dealing with unstable glucose levels. Don't worry, you're not alone. I was right there too, feeling exhausted and reaching for something sweet more often than I wanted. In this video, we're going to dive into a few simple food habits that can seriously change how you feel day to day. These hacks can help you feel more energized, less hungry, in a better mood, and make fat loss feel more manageable than before. Before we jump in, I want to introduce someone who inspired a little bit this video, which is Jessie Inchauspé, better known as the Glucose Goddess. She is a biochemist and the author of Glucose Revolution. After reading and studying her work, I decided to put several of her ideas to test myself. Over the course of a week, I tested 4 different hacks by eating the same meals in different ways and removing sweets or making them an exception out of curiosity to see how my body responded. I also ate the same sugary foods, making some exception for the holidays, and at the end I combined all the hacks into one ultimate meal to see how much of a difference they could make together. There's also a bonus hack at the end, so stick around. First, let's quickly talk about glucose and why it matters. Glucose is a type of sugar that your body uses for energy. Most of it comes from carbohydrates. After you eat, glucose enters your bloodstream. When too much enters too quickly, your energy rises fast and then crashes just as hard. That crash is what makes you feel tired, foggy, and hungry again soon after eating. Over time, repeating this cycle can lead to constant cravings, weight gain, and more serious health issues besides a non-productive routine. That's why keeping glucose levels stable is important for everyone, not just for people with diabetes. Fewer spikes mean steadier energy, fewer cravings, and better overall health. Now let's get into the hacks. The first hack is eating your food in the right order. I do like to start my day with lukewarm water to start the digestion, then start your morning with eggs. I do fried, some raw cheese, and currently I drink a small coffee a day in which I add a lot of milk. Thankfully, now we have access to raw milk from Village Ladies. Ideally is to avoid carbs now. If you really want some, maybe a slice of bread, but homemade or sourdough, not the store-bought bread from the store with dirty ingredients. If you feel like it is not enough and still have room for more, then I would eat some red meat or some mini steaks. This should easily keep you energized until lunch. If you do want to snack on something, I would do blueberries. Blueberries are among the lowest GI fruits, which means that they have minimal impact on your blood sugar. When carbs are eaten first, they break down quickly and enter bloodstream. Eating protein first slows this process down. While the meal might not taste quite as a hamburger, it actually becomes very exciting when eating this way because of the effects on energy and hunger afterward. It's gonna be very noticeable. The key takeaway here is to experiment with flavors and preparation so each part of the meal is still enjoyable. Enough salt on the eggs, high-fat milk. I would skip adding sugar into the coffee. The second hack is vinegar. Any type works. Apple cider, balsamic, red wine, or white wine vinegar. Vinegar helps slow down how quickly food turns into sugar and can reduce cravings and hunger afterward. I tested this before having something sweet, and the difference in how I felt afterward was huge. One thing to note, dilute it with water to ingest it easier. Even if you forget to take it before eating, it can still help if taken shortly afterward. It's not something as needed when the diet is whole ingredient based, but is a nice thing to do if you want to maximize results. The third hack is adding a green starter. Instead of rearranging your meal, you add a small fiber-based dish before eating, like a cucumber or cooked vegetables. The idea is to eat fiber first, but it's often more practical, especially when eating out. I found these made meals more satisfying overall, and I felt fuller sooner. This works especially well for meals like pizza, pasta, or restaurant food, where eating in a strict order isn't always possible. The fourth hack is the most important in my opinion and is actually related to the old way of living, where the foundation of society was blue-collar jobs, and the white-collar jobs were not as popular. Movement after eating. This one is simple, free, and brings so many healthy benefits from physical to mental improvements. If you eat out, take a 10-minute walk to use all that energy from the meal. Moving your body helps use the energy from your meal right away instead of letting it linger. You don't need an intense workout. Walking light, cleaning, or a few bodyweight exercises all count. Even short movement sessions made a noticeable difference in how sluggish or energized I felt afterward. Sitting still after a big meal almost always led to that heavy, sleepy feeling. The fifth and bonus hack is saving sweet foods for dessert, and ideally, if you want to go hardcore, do desserts only once a week or once a month. Eating sugary foods on their own can lead to big energy swings, but when sweets are eaten after a balanced meal that includes fiber, protein, and fat, the impact is much gentler. This doesn't mean sweets are healthy, but it doesn't mean if you don't want to cut them out completely, this way of consuming them might be helpful. Timing matters. Now, carbs are tasty, we all love them, so if I plan to have a high carb meal, then I would have it around 4 p.m. when my day slows down. So in terms of energy level, and so when the crash happens, I can just allow myself for an evening walk or for some house cleaning or even a nap if possible to enjoy. Finally, I tested everything together with a low carb meal. When I ate it the way I normally would, mixing everything together and eating quickly, I felt great, no much impact on my energy. The way I suggest it is to have lots of protein of your choice, lots of vegetables, and the carb of your choice to not be more than 30%. The next day, I used all the hacks: vinegar beforehand, a green starter, eating fiber first and moving afterward. The difference in how I felt was clear. The more hacks I combined, the better the outcome, but even more made a difference. One last thing worth mentioning is how fast you eat. Eating too quickly can undo a lot of these benefits. Slowing down gives your body time to process food properly and respond more smoothly. If I had to pick the most impactful change for me personally, it was prioritizing protein first throughout eating in order to have less room for carbs. This way I felt more energized throughout the day. Everyone's body is different, so the best approach is to experiment and pay attention to how you feel. I hope this helped you as much as it helped me. If you decide to try any of these hacks, let me know which one is your favorite and which one worked for you. Thanks for watching, and remember to appreciate the food we get to enjoy every day.